Hey there, fishing fans. My name's Dan. This is my first YouTube video. I'm doing it on my iPhone, and quite honestly, I'm winging it. So bear with me. I'm going to do my best to make sure it doesn't suck totally. I want to talk about tackle boxes and customizing them, utilizing space, that kind of thing. There aren't a lot of videos out there on doing that. A ton on boats, but not much on tackle boxes, so I thought I'd do my own. I used to use this. It's a Flambeau. It's a 7-drawer system, or 7-shelf system, I should say, sorry. Quite nice, lots of space, a bit of a pain to get into. Now, some backstory. I don't have a boat, and when I go on larger lakes, I have to rent, and I'm not rich, so I usually have to rent a smaller 16 and 17 foot boat, 16 and 17 foot aluminum boats. That was a problem for me because there's no storage on them, and the space for your tackle is usually on one of the benches that you sit on. So for me that was a problem because, as you can see, as soon as you open this box, it kind of doubles in space, and then when you take the shelves out, it extends out even more. There's 4 on this side, 3 on this side, a ton of sections with all the spacers in, lots of room for everything. Everything's got its place, which is nice. Even the jigs and spinners have a special area down along the bottom where these holes and notches are. They just slip in there and hang down. That was pretty cool, I thought, when I bought it. After some time in using it, I realized that it was a bit of a pain because anytime I would grab some of my larger stuff I kept in the bottom to bring it out, I'd be bumping them and knocking things out, making a mess, making noise, which anybody who uses an aluminum bottom boat knows is amplified. Any noise in the boat becomes quite a bit louder, and they say it transfers down into the water and is detrimental to your fishing. So with all that being said, lovely box, a little too cumbersome to get into, a bit of a pain in the butt, so I decided to get rid of it. And I moved on to this guy here. This is a 4-drawer system by Plano, or Plano. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. It's a great box, confusing name. I love it. It is the exact same size, sitting here just closed, as my old box is closed. However, when you got to get stuff out, it's a little more convenient and you don't have to move things around as much. That drops down. 4 drawers. First one has 5 narrower sections without spacers and a larger one, as well as the long guy in the front for your leaders or any of your larger equipment. Down here, we start to see the spacers. I believe there's 14 sections in this drawer, and this is where I keep all my rattlers. The next one over here also has 14 spaces with the spacers. This is my jig, my walleye drawer with all my jig and my soft baits in it. And down here we have 18 sections with the spacers, and this is my jack drawer, or my northern pike drawer. Very handy. Not as many spaces on sections as my old box, so I have to double and triple up. That's no problem. It's still very convenient to get everything out. Closes up. It stays as compact as it can be throughout the entire process. I love it. The only problem I had was when we got to the top here. A huge top for all your larger stuff. I've got some sprays, bug sprays, and sunblock, and all my equipment, and some hooks and all that kind of stuff. But it's a bit of a mess. And anytime I needed to get something, I'm making a ton of noise. You know, if I need to get my hook sharpener, you know, I'm making noise, and heavens forbid I need my glove. You know, all of that banging around is possibly going to scare the fish away, so you want to try to avoid that. So I was looking for some ideas on how to improve and utilize some space. I realized up here at the bottom of the lid, there's a ton of space that wasn't being used. Everything sat on the bottom, and I had all this open area up top. So I took some sticky back Velcro. This is the rough side of the Velcro, and some earth magnets, and glued them on with a mercury adhesive. It's a hobby grade. You can find it at any hobby store. I find it's a heck of a lot stronger than regular super glue, so once you put it on, to get these off, I pretty much need a jackhammer. They're on there for good. Very, very strong magnets. Like I said, they're earth magnets, and this is what all of this trashy looking stuff up here is for. The Velcro I use for all the things that basically aren't metal, that are small and can stay out of the way. For instance, Band-Aids. I'm a klutz when I'm fishing, and I'm always drawing blood, so it's good to have Band-Aids on hand. It's got the other side of the Velcro, so it just sticks up there. Up top here is for a couple of smaller things. I mentioned my hook sharpener. It's got the fuzzy side. It's got its space right up there. Then on top, beside that, I have got a jig hole punch somewhere in this messy box. See, and this is the problem. You can't find your stuff all the time. So with this system, I figure, oh, there it is, my hole punch, my Rapala hole punch. Anybody who's used a jig knows that these are important because they're not too careful when they paint the jig heads, and the holes are usually crusty. You don't want to use another jig because you're going to end up drawing blood, hence the band-aids. Anyway, so that's what that spot there is for. Down here is for a couple different things. This here is just some different rigging techniques that I don't use too often, so sometimes I need reminding. This is just an insert from a wallet. And that back there is a tool for my Abu Garcia reel. And yeah, just the insert from a wallet. It's got the sticky side of the Velcro. It sits up there out of the way to stay dry. Here, when fishing season actually starts, is where I'll keep my license. I used to keep it in my wallet, but found that every time I went out fishing, I wouldn't take my wallet because I've yet to find an Interact machine in the middle of a lake. So would always leave my wallet at home and be a couple minutes out on the boat and realize I don't have my license with me, have to go back. It's, a time waster. I could be spending it fishing where I've got to be running around looking for my documents. So now I keep them here, keeps it out of the way, keeps it dry, keeps it safe. I've always got it should I need it. Now we'll move on to the magnets. And the magnets, these guys over here, we'll start with this one down here. I think everybody's got a utility knife in their tackle box. This one is predominantly metal, so it conveniently sits nicely right there for me. Right above it is a different kind of knife. I'm not sure why I have this. I think I'm paranoid someday a gigantic fish is going to jump into the boat and attack me, and I'm going to need it to defend myself. So it's got a nice little spot right there for it. Right above that is for when I'm feeling lazy. I have a bell. Yeah, sometimes I'm a lazy fisherman, so it sits there, and the magnet is strong enough that it also attracts the dinger, so when you open your box it's not going to ding on you and get annoying. Right above that are some spaces for my other hole punch and for my clippers. And over here I have got a space for, on the left, for my fish stringer, I think it's called. I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, I rent boats that usually don't have live wells, so I've got to have one of these, and it's got its handy little spot right there. And the final one is for what I consider to be one of my most important tools in my tackle box. This, if you don't have one of these, it's to get the stink off your hands as you're handling the fish. Your hands get pretty bad, and this gets rid of it. Best thing I have in my tackle box. I really recommend it if you don't have one. And it has its spot right there because it too is metal. So they're all strong magnets, strong Velcro. It's strong enough that, I mean, should you even bump it or slam the lid shut, everything is going to stay in its place. It works. I think it's a useful idea. Tell me what you think. If you have any other ideas on utilizing space or customizing the box to make it that much cooler and that much different, let me know. I'd love to hear back from you.